Hey everybody. You guys remember my growing mango from seed video? This is one of the ones that grew. This is the healthiest one, and it's growing nicely. It's in this tiny little container. I don't know what size this is, but what we're gonna do is, you can see the roots coming out of the bottom. So what we're gonna do is move it into this grow bag, and I'm gonna show you what I use for its soil. So we're not gonna use the regular Miracle Grow potting soils or anything. I want something that's really well draining. I've always lost mangoes to root rot, and it's because using those commercial brands that are not suited for this. So this is one of the Walmart potting soils. It was perfect for growing the seed, but now that this is getting bigger, it'll be fine throughout summer. But once winter comes along, we don't have the heat, we don't have that water evaporation. We need something that is going to be well draining, and we're going to do our best to prevent root rot. So what I have in front of me is peat moss. This is for water retention and also decreases the acidity, so mangoes like a little bit of lower pH, and what that does is helps them uptake nutrients. So usually what happens is when you have mangoes in a pot for a few years, that pH level starts to rise, and then as it rises, it becomes more and more difficult for the trees to uptake nutrients. So this will help keep the pH lower. Also, maybe once a year we'll add in a little bit of sulfur amendments. And then we have this all-purpose sand. What is this going to do is help us with drainage. I do have this organic compost. It's a really nice fluffy one, but I will not use it. All I'm going to do is use these two inorganic materials, and I'm just going to mix them 50-50, and we're going to put it in this grow bag, and we're going to see how this guy does. So let me get the materials together and I'll come back. Alright, so we have our peat moss here. This dry peat moss. You can see all the dust coming off. And we have our sand. The coarser you can get it, the better. You can see there's some bigger and smaller pieces, but it's been working fine. I've been using this for my other tropicals, but I've been mixing compost with it. But for our mango purposes, we will not put any organic material in the pot. We will top dress with fertilizer. Alright, so let me get this mixed up. And when you're mixing peat moss, try to wear a mask or water it down prior to mixing, because there's a lot of dust and you don't want to breathe it. So you can see how it's coming along really nice. It breaks apart. Obviously it's not wet yet, but and then the grow bag will keep things airy. It's not going to let it sit in water. It'll let it evaporate. It's all material. Never grown anything in grow bags yet, but let's go ahead and fill this guy up. Alright, so we've got it filled about halfway, which I think should be good. If you put this here, so you have good 1.5 to 2 inches from the top. So we could add mulch if we needed. We can put in, Osmocote, fertilizer, things like that. And when we water, it's not gonna fall off because we have this 2-inch gap. So let's pull this guy out carefully. There were a whole bunch of ants that were in this pot, so you can see them running around. I don't want to stick my hand in there, so what I'll do is let's take this out. You can see these guys. So there is our root structure. Don't want to mess with it. So what I will do though is I will take this, hopefully I don't get bit by ants, but kind of mix it in there. Obviously there is some food in here already which it's been eating. Let's go ahead and plop this guy in there. Make sure dump that, and I will use this so I can stay away from the ants. Right, and there's no hole at the bottom of this, so the water will pour out from the pores of this grow bag. So the ants are going to have to find another way out. So let me fill this up and I'll come back. Alright, so we have our mango in here. Now one thing you need to watch out for is the level that you fill this to, and you do not want it higher than what it was before. Right, so it is a little bit low as you can see, but I think that should be okay. If I put a little bit of, I mean, when I water it might come down, so I might add a little bit more. I can probably throw some sand, mix it up a little bit. Get a little bit more of peat moss. It's better to plant these higher than lower. You have a lot less chance of losing your plant if it is higher than lower. You can always add a little bit of mulch on top. So there we have it. This is our mango. This probably needs to be staked up a little bit or straightened up. And I'm gonna go ahead and water this guy. So this is maybe, I think, a 2 gallon or 1.5 gallon, something like that. So this guy will have plenty of room to grow in here. They like to send out their taproot, so this will give it a little bit of room to grow. Very airy and drainy soil, so I'm hoping this will be a good home for this guy. Thicken up this branch or this stem, and once this starts coming up, we will top the plant so we can encourage branching, or I might just get a scion and graft to this once this is thick enough and get a name variety. So pretty much we're just going to water this, put it out, and then as this guy grows I will keep you guys updated. So till then, see ya.